Hey, I got a voicemail.
Yeah. Well,
We're
welcome to the Niche Cast, everyone, or the Niche Memes
Not-
podcast. Sorry.
Jacob, restart.
Welcome to the Niche Memes podcast.
No.
everybody.
Restart with I got a voicemail.
Oh,
Yeah, say that.
okay.
Oh, I
Hey
peeked.
guys, I got
Welcome to the Niche. Oh shit! Sorry.
a voicemail, guys.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you play it for us? Let's
What
hear
could
it.
it say?
Let me crank my phone up. Okay, typing in my password, pound, and then we're gonna hit the double one. We're gonna hit the double one.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude, I didn't even know you got a new fucking voicemail. Thank god it doesn't just say anymore. Okay, it's been like
Cam,
half
cut
an
that.
hour, Jacob. Come on, where you at, buddy? Let's go. Unless you're like actually doing something serious, in which case this is just a harassing phone call. But if you're not, then where the fuck are you? Come on, we gotta record the podcast. We gotta get the millions of fans that are waiting for us, Jacob. Come on.
End of message.
Welcome to the Niche Memes podcast.
To save the
everyone.
message, press 9.
Message saved.
To delete.
There. Well, thank you
welcome
for
to the
that
podcast.
voice message.
You're welcome. You were taking fucking forever.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
can't
okay.
believe it took you
There was-
that long.
There was a
to
lot of
build
discussion. There was a lot of discussion that was occurring just
Uh-huh.
in that half hour, and I think it really brings a lot to the table with what today's topics are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's today's?
Well, our
topic?
first topic is bad dating stories.
Oh, so I get to sit back on this one.
What
Oh,
are you,
no,
what
no,
are you
no.
talking about? I think
Jack, I want you to hop in topics chat, and the last thing I see from last week's episode is, in all caps, Santa girl for
Oh.
next time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I
that
was
one.
waiting for that. I was
I
looking
didn't go.
right
I
at it.
didn't like date her though. She just sent me. Okay.
Wait,
well,
can I wait? Can I explain? Can I explain from my perspective what Jack has shown me throughout
Yeah.
time of Santa
Yeah,
Girl?
go on.
Now, Jack, surprisingly, and I've personally never used Tinder. Jack has matched with a girl probably every week that he is on Tinder. Every week it's a new girl matching with him.
You know, I do my best.
And I am shocked half the time
Yeah.
because
Because he doesn't think I could do it.
no, I just Jack has, I want to say this is a bit honest, has some problems with his self-esteem, and I think it's a big
Fair.
self-esteem booster.
Oh, it's
But
not.
there's-
No. Tinder is
No,
not a
not Tinder.
self-esteem
Not
boost.
Tinder.
Tinder is fucking self-esteem tear down. It's awful.
Well-
When I was single, if I ever felt good about myself, I went on Tinder to humble myself.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
That
Well,
was my bio
I wanna-
for a while was like,
the-
I'm just here to remind myself how shit I look.
oh.
And I got. So anyway, go ahead, Jake.
So there's this one girl that finally matched with him, and he's like, "Hey, I matched with this girl on Tinder. I think she has a thing for Santa Claus." And I was like, "What are you talking
I didn't
about?"
say that. No. I just said.
Her messages were like,
Well, she said, and I quote, "You're like a sexy version of Santa Claus." And as one of my friends responded, "What, is Santa not sexy all of a sudden?" So, I didn't quite know what the fuck to do with any of that information. Anyway, she, fuck me, it was just a roller coaster. I gave up on it after a while because I was like, yeah, I could take this somewhere, but I don't feel right about taking this somewhere. But she was heavily into BDSM, so I would just get like pics and Snapchats of her tied up to her bed. I don't know how she tied herself
What?
up. Yeah, it was so fucking weird. And I don't know how she tied herself up and it was very weird, but
yeah. So
anyway,
there
so
was
that's my
now what's fun
dating
about this
story
roller
in
coaster? What was fun
fucking
about this
quotes.
roller coaster for Jack
Uh-huh.
is that when he got off the first time. he
got off
thought
the
thought
first
later,
time.
oh, I should get back on this roller coaster.
Yeah, I went for because I couldn't remember the second time. I have bad weak brain, and so she hits me up again 2 years later, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't remember what happened. Sure, and then it all went downhill from there. So I was like, okay.
Honestly though, there have been many a bad dates that I'm sure, and Tinder messaging included,
Yeah.
that we've all been on.
Jesus, yeah, Tinder's something. But I have one good story that was back in, I think it was February. So there's this dating app called Hinge that I used to use, which was just like, it was essentially just like a shittier UI version of Bumble.
Well, wait,
Oh,
Hinge, yeah,
not to support them. Isn't that the one on Snapchat that keep popping up, being like, oh, the app meant to be
Probably.
deleted?
Yes, that is the one. That is the
Probably.
one.
The one that spams your fucking notifications all day. It's like, oh,
Yes.
you've got a new look at your profile, and no.
Oh my god,
That
it was
sounds
the
like LinkedIn,
worst.
guys. That sounds like LinkedIn.
It's basically like.
No, it's like dating
It's like
LinkedIn,
dating
but
LinkedIn.
worse. Anyway, so I'd matched with this one girl. She seemed pretty normal and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, do you want to like grab like a bite to eat or something like that? She's like, yeah, sure. So I like finish work for the day. I go home. I kind of clean up, and then like I head back downtown in Toronto, and I meet her up at the place. And you know, at first, not to be rude or anything, but okay, you know, it doesn't seem like she's you know, all there, but whatever, she seems nice and all that stuff. So we get in, and we're in this, I don't know why I chose this place to get food. I think it was just because it was like cheap, and it was supposed to be just kind of like it's the casual first date.
Yeah.
So, but it was I forgot how loud the music was in this place.
Oh.
Like, it's one of those restaurants where it's like the music is so loud you can hardly think.
Oh.
It's like, Jesus.
Okay.
So I'm chatting with this girl, and I'm like, you know, I ordered a drink. It's like, oh, do you want anything? She's like, oh, no. She's like, I don't drink. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, no, it makes me hear things. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay. So we're just kind of chatting and all that stuff, and then she's like, yeah, no, I go to, you know, this, or I went to this in this school, but, you know, they kicked me out. I'm like, oh, why'd they kick you out? She's like, well, they were all plotting against me. I'm like,
Oh.
what? She's like, yeah, the dean, you know, the profs,
Another one?
the gangs.
The gangs.
The gangs. So that's where I'm like, okay, this is only a one date
Please tell
thing,
me, please
but
tell me you dove
but
into
I need to find out as much as I possibly
this.
can.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So I kind of start like going along with it. I'm like, gangs. She's like, yeah, no, you know, at this university, you know, the gangs, they're in with the staff. I'm like, oh, really? So she goes on. The way she worked it out was that for some reason, the gangs were paying off her prof to give her failing grades.
What?
And then she went to the dean of the school,
Yeah.
and he said, well, no, you're just failing your classes.
Yeah.
But and then she was like, you're getting paid off by the gangs too, aren't you?
Oh my God.
So she ended up getting kicked out of
So
the
wait,
out
hang
of
on.
this
Why
university.
Did she think gangs were going after her? To make
I
her
don't
fail
know.
school?
And he
I
wasn't
'cause
gonna
I think-
stick around to find out.
No. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she lived in Brampton, so she was out there for Toronto, but pretty normal for Brampton.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, I visited
Yeah.
Brampton.
It's like
Like
you're
a
you
moment.
like let's imagine you're on like your 5th date with her, and finally you're like I'm sorry, we can't do more than we can't do any more of this, and she's sitting there, she's like, did the gangs get to you already?
The gangs must have paid you off, huh? They can't actually
no, it
hurt.
gets
Was it the Bloods or was it the Crips?
No. It's like Canadian versions of the Bloods and Crips.
Oh, was it the Leafs or was it the goddamn Beavers?
Senators.
So she kept going on about this, and apparently it got to the point where she was bugging the dean so like constantly that they just like expelled her like
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah.
And then she applied to this film school in downtown Toronto that's like notorious for being really bad and like stealing people's money.
Ryerson.
And she's-
No.
Oh,
Okay.
So she started asking me about, you know, what I did and like my education. So I'm telling her, you know, I do like stuff within film and television and all that stuff. She's like, oh, you should go to this school. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know if it's really for me. I'm just in the back of my head, it's like I don't want to have like $15,000 a year stolen.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. We have a school like that here as well.
Oh, I feel like everywhere has a school like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, she's going on about this school. I'm kind of like just like, yeah, yep. It's like nothing going on there, and we finish up the meal and all that stuff, and we're going in the same direction because she has to take a subway to head back to Brampton. head down to Union Station and then back to Brampton because she came in to Brampton for just the date.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. So we're heading back, and like as she's leaving the streetcar, and she's like, "So you're my boyfriend now?"
Ooh,
I think I coughed too soon. What?
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, and she hopped in the subway, and I
Oh,
unmatched her immediately.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my
Oh.
fucking god. I'd
It's
be
like, oh,
barricading
Whoa,
the fucking doors
whoa.
that night.
Bobby, get on the train quick.
get on there, boy.
What?
Whoa. Oh my god, yeah, she was something. And then I think I accidentally matched with her a couple months later,
Oh.
and she's like, and she messaged me, she's like, that's my boyfriend. I'm like,
Oh.
because like I didn't realize who it was at first, and then I got the message, and I immediately realized I'm like, match on match on match.
That's always the worst
Quick.
when you fucking unmatch someone who turns out like they're fucking psycho, and then they remake their account and you don't realize like a couple months later, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh, see, I matched with her on Hinge first, and then on Tinder.
Oh,
But with
I
Tinder,
see.
I used to get just so bored. Like this is what I used Tinder for. I would get bored, and then I'd just sit there and swipe right on everything without looking.
Yeah. Oh, that's the pretty much the guy way of doing it. I mean, unless you're
It's speedrun, any percent.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're like ultra good looking and you know exactly what you're looking for, there's not really a point if you're a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Of not just swiping everyone and then like figuring out who has picked you.
So Jack, you just reminded me of a story actually.
Oh yeah.
So I knew someone a couple years back.
Yeah.
Where she would like swipe through, she'd swipe on everyone on Tinder. Like
Oh,
at
yeah.
one point she had 10,000 matches, and Tinder banned her because they thought she was a bot.
Cursed by my own success.
we had
TJ
like
Fowler.
mutual friends and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was my close friend. I won't name her here. I don't know if she cares about it, but I won't name her right now. So she was celebrating her 20th birthday, and we were all getting together at the place she was living to do like her 20th. We ended up having like like the comedy roasts of people.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We had one of those for her, and it was great.
Oh god.
So this girl who swipes on everyone was there, and we're kind of just chilling and all that stuff. There was about 8 of us there, but there was only like 4 rooms, so most of us were like sharing rooms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to split a bed with one of our friends that was there. Like him and I were supposed to share just like an air mattress. So we had put our stuff up in that room and then kind of just went downstairs and we're hanging out with people. And like throughout the night, she's getting a little flirty with me, but I'm just like, yeah, no thanks, not really interested. Trying to make it clear I wasn't interested. So later on in the night, it's like I head upstairs to kind of pack it in, and I open the door. And on the air mattress I'm supposed to split with my friend, she's just right in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
I remember you talking about this.
She's right in the middle of it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I kind of look, and I look back, and I'm like, no.
Good boy, Cameron.
That's gonna get him a good boy point right there.
Yeah.
That is going to get me a good boy point. So what I found out later was that like she literally just wanted to be in between me and my friend.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
Yeah.
So I was not about it at all. So I ended up crashing it like in one of my other friends' beds that night. But my friend who was supposed to split the bed with me, he also walked in about 20 minutes later, saw the same thing, and was like, nah. And he went and slept in someone else's bed.
so she ended up on
So
her
she-
own. Oh.
She woke up. She
Good.
woke up expecting it to be between the two of us,
Yeah.
and she's just in this empty air mattress.
Oh, good.
And like when we all woke up in the morning, we shared like breakfast together, except for her because it like at 6 in the morning when she just woke up and no one was there, boom, she was gone.
Oh god. Aw. I mean, I kind of feel bad for her. I know what she was trying, but like, at the same time.
Yeah.
She did some like really crazy shit later on that like
Yeah.
maybe not. Oh no, I remember what it was.
Uh-huh.
So it was on Canada Day. So I'd been like seeing someone in my second year of college, but it just like didn't work out. But we'd posted a couple pictures.
Yeah.
So this is like 3 or 4 months afterwards, and it's Canada Day. So it's the same girl that was sleeping in this bed.
Yeah.
She had memorized the captions of now deleted photos on my Instagram with my ex, and then like recited them off to me on Canada Day, and I was just like, Okay.
Wow. Like that's.
It was the strangest thing that I've ever had happen.
God, I love sexual tension.
I love editing the podcast.
I've actually had to sit here for the last like 20
Yeah.
minutes now
Yeah.
and think of exactly which
Which story
dates
you want
I can actually talk about. Because some of them
Yeah.
are like oh fuck, that is bad.
Yeah.
And there's others that are like
Like when we're talking bad, are
that's
we
the thing.
talking boat guy bad? Or?
there's some that I just can't talk about because it's too explicit.
That's the thing, though. Like, there's not a single story for dating that is going to paint me in any good light because I'm awkward as
Same.
fuck and I don't do well on dates. So
Here, you know what? I'll
but I've also
start
given up on
with a
dates,
wholesome.
so-
I'll start with a wholesome
Yeah.
date,
Thank you.
and then I will go straight into hell.
So we were behind the dumpster.
No, I'm gonna actually talk about my first date with my fiance.
Oh, okay.
I had
Was
met
it-
her and
was
we
it
were
like
at a
beer
drinking
pong?
event, and
Yeah.
and that was fine. That's not really the big one I want to talk about. I want to talk about the wholesome first date.
Okay.
And
Oh, finally, we're
everyone's
getting a good
gonna listen to
story.
this and think, oh my god, this is such a weird first date. Actually, my favorite, one of my favorites.
It wasn't a first date. It was where you first met.
No, it was actually like a first date. We had said we were going on like a,
Oh,
a date
okay.
thing.
Oh, fair enough.
To start, I was hanging out at what I call the party house.
The party house.
At the time, it was the party house. It was a
Every
it
college
was a
and university
townhouse.
has a party
It was a
house.
townhouse
Oh, I know
that
where
my
you
friend
mean.
was living in. Yes,
Yeah.
of course Jack knows. It was the party house. See, all of her other friends had basically bailed on her for this night, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go get some wings?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, we can like go get some wings." And like, you know, like, is it just gonna be you and I? And you know, like, is this like a date as like a joke? And she's like, "Yeah, sure." She really just wanted to go for wings with like not alone. So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll show up." I show up, and
That's how you get stuck with Jacob. You want to do something, but you don't want to do it alone, and it's like, well, Jacob will come.
it's true. It really is true. Well, anyways, I show up, and I'm like, cool. Like I'm kind of nervous. I'm not really dressed the best. Whatever. I'm not like, you know,
Not dressed to impress. Yeah.
exactly. I just showed up and I was like, oh, it's wings. Like what?
Yeah.
Like, you're sitting there literally eating one of the messiest foods you can get. During this wholesome date, we sat down. We had a couple pints. We were literally eating wings like with our like hand, like just the handsiest food we could get. Like, oh, like this is super saucy, licking sauce off fingers, just talking. And it was honestly the best date, or one of the best dates I've ever been on.
That's good.
Because instead of sitting there and being superficial about every little thing,
Yeah.
you were directly in it. You were talking, you were communicating, and you were building a relationship. And now we go directly into hell.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I've had a lot of first dates, and some of the fun ones I remember is one of my friends when he was dating this girl back in high school, and he didn't date her for very long. He wanted to go on a double date, and this girl was from out of town, from a small town north of where we live, and she brought her friend in, and we went bowling.
Nico.
And during this entire bowling thing, it was really awkward. It was like those cringe videos we watched in yesterday's stream.
Oh my
like
god.
I was sitting here like, okay, cool, they're trying to set me up with this girl, and she was basically the exact same way. Cool, they're trying to set me up with this dude, and my friend and his girlfriend were basically trying to push us together the entire time. We had to play the silly novelty bowling where it's like, oh, this is the second round. Oh, we have to bowl backwards. Oh, this is the third round. You have
Bowl
to
what?
only bowl with your left hand. Oh, this is the fourth round. You only have to like every round. So like the first, like you go up, you bowl normal the first, like for the first bowl. Then the next time your turn comes around,
Oh,
it's like you have
okay.
to do something different. Oh, between your legs and backwards. Oh, underhand roll.
right.
Like it was like that for an entire round, and like there's like a sheet that you could follow. Very, very cringy. Yeah.
That's cringe, bro.
I was.
Kind of cringe.
Yeah, I was holding back as much cringe as I could, and basically it was like I would sit there, and my friend would lean over and get really close and be like, "Put your arm around her," and I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, why can't I just sit here and talk to them and get to know them? Put your arm around them. Okay, so I do that, and then we're both sitting there like hover hand awkward, like, and I'm like, oh god, please not like this. And then I remember after we were done bowling, we went to a Tim Hortons that was nearby. You know, we were sitting there and we were having like coffees and teas and hot chocolates and stuff. And then we had like, I remember like my friend's girlfriend leaning over and being like, kiss her. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what? And it's like, I was talking to her.
Right
and
here in
and
Tim's?
she likes you, and you need to make the move and kiss her. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on?
I would have noped the
And I remember how this whole quote unquote relationship between her and I went. And I'm not gonna like, I'm calling it a relationship like similar to like friendships and all those kind of relationships rather than like an actual like boyfriend girlfriend relationship.
Yeah.
After this day, and I remember kissing her on the lips, and it was like one of those peck
On the
kisses. So it was
lips?
yes, it was a peck kiss, and it was very awkward.
You Tom Brady?
And she left. And I remember texting her for the week, and then finally it just fizzled out. We stopped messaging that much. I remember talking for a couple days beforehand. I remember talking for a couple days after this date, and that was it. And then I remember hanging out with my friend and his girlfriend at the time, and she was like, oh, don't worry about her. She's already, like, it's whatever. She's with some other guy right now.
Oh.
And then, like, literally, over the course of, like, 2 or 3 years, because I'd be like, hey, aren't you still friends with that person? And she'd be like, nah, man. She, like, gave a guy a blowjob behind a McDonald's. And I'd be like, what? What did you try to set me up with?
Did they know this before or no?
No, like I had met them.
I thought you were talking about your fiance.
Oh.
No.
I didn't know a lot about her.
No. I said I was gonna say a wholesome date and then go into a first date that was just like
Okay.
hell.
Okay,
Yeah.
I missed out on the transition. So I thought you were talking about your fiance. I thought it was
No. My fiance has been wholesome our entire relationship. She is wholesome every day, except when we fight, and still our fights are pretty wholesome. But the only thing that, and I think it's the biggest reason why she doesn't listen to the podcast, is because we are not wholesome in here. But yeah, no, she can't lie. Like literally, we play like lying games, and she sits there and she's like, I'm the killer. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like if we tried
Get her
playing
in for
Among Us
some
with
Among
her,
Us.
like literally in Among Us, if she was the imposter, it'd be like,
I went up this way and I killed them, and then
I don't know what I'm doing this game, but it said sabotage.
Jacob, why was your name red?
that she has actually walked in and said that. I had to mute the mic before.
amazing.
She's like, are you killing people? I'm like, yes, but they're not supposed to know. And she's like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, hon.
Yes, Paul.
yes, boss.
How,
There was
Cam,
quite a
tell
bit of editing there.
Cam, I'm gonna take this on a different direction. Cam, tell us about your first date with Poss.
Like in person
Yeah.
or in Minecraft?
Either or. Wait, you had a Minecraft date?
Okay.
No.
Oh.
So the first time we hung out
Yeah.
like on our own
Uh-huh.
was I was playing Stardew Valley with you guys,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said, "Oh well, we're gonna finish up soon. If you want, let's play some Stardew Valley," because I knew she liked the game.
Oh yeah.
So we hopped in that world that the three of us made, and then we just played in there for a little bit.
Right. That's
And then in real life, it was just it was
That
back
was
in
very
August,
anticlimactic.
and she came up to because I'm not in Toronto right now because the redacted
yeah.
YouTube algorithm, please. Yeah, so she came up to Ottawa to visit her friends and see me. So we got to see each other for the first time, like 2 months into us dating.
It was the most awkward first hug video I've ever seen. It was lovely.
I can recall the entire video, except for what was said by heart.
Yeah.
I remember opening the door.
Uh-huh.
Opening the door. She stepped out from like the end of the hallway and went, "Oh fuck no," and then ran away. And then she came back as you got closer,
Yeah.
and then she hugged you.
I remember.
And it was
Cam-
like she wanted to be
and
like.
what she said was, "Why the fuck did you get me flowers?"
I was gonna say, I remember Cam standing there, stiff as a fucking board with these flowers, and then she's just like walks up and hugs him, and he's just like, oh, it was like an awkward dad hug. It was like, oh, hello. Yeah.
The longer I spend in the suburbs, the closer I get to Hank Hill. That's what I'm dressing up as for Halloween. My face reveal will be me in a Hank
You
Hill
in a
costume.
Hank Hill
That's
costume.
awesome.
Amazing.
That's actually awesome.
Oh, I have a more personal question here.
Yes.
Did you guys do the kissy kissy?
Yeah.
We know they
Fucking
did
lying
the kissy
bitch.
kissy.
She told me
They
you guys
did
didn't
the
have
kissy
kissed yet.
kissy.
I was like, you're a liar, and she's like, no.
No, we kissed.
Of course, I knew you did.
No, it was literally like I'm sitting here with Jack, and I
Uh-huh.
remember the streams for those 2 months, and I knew it. I had called out that I had known that they had liked each other.
Yeah.
And like, cause Cam hinted at it earlier, but no one had said anything, and no one confirmed anything.
Yeah.
And I could like feel the sexual tension. I was like, yes, it's
Yes.
here. They like each other. And I tell Jack this, and he's like, no.
I
And
didn't say
finally, the day like they were like confirmed, but they were
See,
keeping
this
it
is
on
hang
hush
on,
hush.
really quickly. See, Jacob has this thing where if you don't immediately believe everything he says, you immediately disagree with everything he says. That's
No,
at
no, Jack-
point.
Jack
no.
honestly didn't
Shush, shush, shush,
disagree.
shush, 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 shush. At no point did I say that they weren't dating. In fact, I believed they were, but I said I don't have the evidence to say that they definitely. are
Ah,
dating.
that's basically like against it.
That's not. You're a bitch.
That's pretty sus to me. No, but yeah, I was like sitting there. I'm like, Jack's like, yeah, we gotta wait till they actually confirm it. Though I'm like, nah, we gotta bait it out of them.
Wasn't
That's
that
what
the
I'm
night
sitting there.
she
I'm like,
Wasn't that the night tossed down like a Mickey of Smirnoff?
she was
Okay, so-
trashed, and
so-
Ultra and I were talking to her, and she basically confirmed that she liked Cam,
Yeah.
but didn't say it explicit. Like she was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, Cam, and I'm like, so you like him?
And then
And that's basically what it was.
My favorite moment was Poss going, oh, what the fuck? How did she word it again? She was like, so, like, it was like a 10-second pause after that, and then she just goes, so, like, do you guys, like, think we're dating or something? Like, like.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah. We're like, oh yeah, you like Cam, right? And she's like, no.
Like,
Do you like think we're dating though?
and then the next day, you guys are like, yeah, by the way.
I
worst
remember that
kept
because I was at a
secret.
party, and Jack told me, and I screamed. I fucking knew it. I screamed. Everyone's like, "What are you screaming about?" I'm like, "Nah, I knew it.
I knew
I
it."
knew it."
No, you want to know how I asked her out?
Yeah.
So, do you remember the story I told about how I visited friends up in a small Ontario town before heading like back to Ottawa? About how they saw a bear and they're like, "Oh my God, it's a bear."
Yeah, I do remember that.
don't
I
have
do
any
remember. I actually do remember those camping stories. Yes, it was in one of the episodes of the podcast.
So it was during one of the nights I was there. We were all drinking,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like I had a few drinks, and then I was talking to my friends, both of whom are girls, and I was like, I don't know how to like talk to her,
Yeah.
and they're like, wait a second, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, can I just like hand you guys my phone, tell you what I want to say, and then you can translate it for me?
That's sweet. Do you still have the messages?
Yeah, I do, but there's so many
I was
messages.
gonna say, not
Saved
that you have
them.
to read them
He
out,
has
but yeah, no, that's
saved
sweet.
them.
That's sweet.
So I handed it to them, and I just had them read it off. And I remember one of them saying, like, wait, so we've just missed out on all these guys just because they didn't know how to talk to us, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
100%.
yeah, pretty much.
We're fucking brain dead half the time. We don't.
So
know.
I had my friends
I'm not
ask
brain dead.
Poss.
Shut up.
I had my friends ask Poss for me if she liked me.
Oh, that's fucking great. Oh my god, it's like.
But it all
fucking
worked out in the end.
Elementary school all over again.
Well, I have one work story I can tell.
Oh yeah.
So this would have been like last year or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So it was I was working a game of football out in Hamilton, and this time, so last week I told you about Ginger Jesus when he
Yep.
was the Parab operator with the big dish mic.
Yep.
So this time I was the guy with the big dish
The
mic.
Dig Bish night, Mike.
Dig fish, Mike.
I however did not lie prone on the ground like a sniper.
Oh, weird.
Mainly because you can't do that in football because both benches are right beside you. So you're normally like jammed in with these football players who are like your size, except about 150 extra pounds of muscle on them.
Yeah.
So I'm in there. You know, it's pretty a pretty average game so far. You know, it's just you're getting the quarterback yelling his stuff, and then, you know, you're following the ball, you're following the quarterback so you can hear him, you know, get hit and get brain damage and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like the third quarter of the game, and I have my Parab mic pointed towards him, and like they start the play, he's looking around, and then he locks eyes with me, and I'm like, don't do it, please don't do it. And suddenly he just throws the ball right at me.
Oh.
And my life flashes before my eyes because I suddenly see both teams running at me, and I get out of the way as fast as possible. So I duck out of the way in time. The guy beside me suddenly sees this football coming towards him and just gets nailed. So I'm like, "Oh, dude, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like, no one got hit by players flying into the onto the sidelines. So it's like, okay. 3 plays later, I have my Parab mic. I got it pointed at the quarterback. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for this play. He grabs the ball. He's looking around. He makes eye contact with me. Gets ready to throw. I'm like, not again, please. He throws it directly at me again.
He's trying to take you out, dude.
I duck back again. He nails the guy beside me again. This time, we both almost get hit by players.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
6 plays later.
Oh my
Maybe he has a crush.
Yeah. Maybe he wrote a message on the football. It was like, meet me in the locker
They do
room
have those like
later.
little pens. They do have those little pens or something, and
Uh-huh.
they're like their arm thing for like all the plays. Maybe they wrote a little message like,
See,
"Hey,
we're still
you
on-
and me, you
Aim
and me
for
later
Cam.
This is
playing in the locker room." You know. Like,
See, I thought we'd change topics, but no, we're still on first dates. Okay, keep going, Cam.
So 6 plays later, I got my mic up. I have it at the quarterback. I'm ready. He gets the ball.
Eye contact.
He looks back and forth. And he makes eye contact again. And I'm just like, you son of a bitch, don't do it. Arm back. Throws it. I duck out of the way. He hits the guy beside me for the 3rd time in a row. All of a sudden, I just see one of our camera operators run up beside me, frame up a shot of this guy who's been hit 3 times, and then he gets taken live to air as the commentators are talking about, well, it looks like he's doing fine. You know, he's been hit by the ball 3 times, but he's still in the game.
He's still in the game. Oh my god. I'd fucking rush the field at that point. I'd be the
I'd
big
fight him.
Yeah, I'd be the big fat guy who's on the side of the pitch who's just like, I've had enough of this shit, and I'd go running out. You doing this again? Come on, Tom.
Jack's sitting on the bench. He like puts his hands on his thighs and goes, "All right then." Stands up.
Alright, that's it.
That's
Go
it.
running out.
All right, that's it.
That's it. You've done it now, cunt.
Oh, God. And of course it had to be in Hamilton. Like,
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
I was gonna
explains
say,
everything.
Was it the Ticats quarterback?
it was indeed the Ticats quarterback.
Okay. We'll leave them nameless, but it was the Ticats quarterback. If you're listening to
If you're listening to this, come on the show
Tie
and defend yourself.
Cats.
tell us why you have a
quarterback.
thing for hitting dish operators.
Oh, man. I just remember the first time I went to Hamilton. So I have a friend that goes to one of the universities there.
Yeah.
And, like, I hadn't been to Hamilton ever before. So I didn't realize how far the stadium for the Ticats was from, like, the main station for, like, Hamilton.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'll just walk there. It's not that far. It was, like, an hour-long walk, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I asked my friend, it's like, if I go down this street and then just down this street, will I be good? He's like, yeah, you'll be fine as long as, you know, stick to main roads and that stuff. I'm like, okay, perfect. So the 2 streets I had were James Street and Barton Street. Now, you guys may not you know,
I know.
think of anything when those 2 come to mind.
I think of the
Trade.
Barton Street Battalion, who just are celebrating. Hang on, I gotta go close my window because I can hear kids screaming outside. But the Barton Street Battalion, who recently celebrated their 2nd Canadian Premier League title. Well done, Hamilton. You won another one. I hate Hamilton. I fucking
Same.
absolutely hate Hamilton, and I hope they're
So
folds.
I have a funny story about that team.
I don't. So I asked him, it's like, okay, if I go down James and then down Barton, you know, will I be fine? He's like, yeah, just stick to main roads and all that stuff.
Don't we know a guy called Barton? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, the boss calls him Barton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what he didn't mention was that Barton is like one of the sketchiest streets in Canada. Like this is at a time when I was living in that neighborhood in North Toronto with the French Canadian basement goblin living underneath me, and like even that nothing was as sketchy as Barton Street that day. So it's like middle of the day, sun, like no clouds in the sky, sun's just bearing down.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 minutes into my walk. Someone walks up to me. Hey, you got some change? I'm just like, oh, no. And then I keep walking, and I look down beside me, and someone's shooting up right on the street. I'm like, oh.
What?
I finally make it onto Barton, and like I'm just walking down, and I see like their detention center. I'm like, oh. Like, why did my friend tell me to walk down these streets? And then I look across the street from the detention center, and there's just an LCBO
Oh,
and a beer store. And Hamilton's like the DUI capital of Canada. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's something. And it's like I'm already like over this walk.
Yeah.
And it was still another like hour of me walking constantly. And I'm just like, I finally get to where I am. I'm like, thank fuck.
Let me look up. I've never actually seen how long Barton Street is. Barton Street.
It is long.
Barton Street. Okay, it's a pretty long road.
Yeah, so I walked down it from like downtown Hamilton because I didn't realize that their goddamn stadium is in the like literally in the middle of a suburb.
Oh, yeah. It's a 9-minute drive.
Yeah, how long of a walk is it, Jack?
It's a 48-minute walk. 44-minute walk. Holy shit. Oh, so I see. So, but you went all the way up to Barton Street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a stupid fucking way to go.
Yeah, it was.
That's like, yeah,
This
this
was
adds
like
time to it. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I can
this
see
was
that
my
would be an hour.
first. This was my first job outside. Like I had just been laid off from another job 2 weeks earlier
Right.
because the show I was working on got canceled. So this was like my first job out of that, and I would just like got there. I'm like, I'm already having a bad time.
I bet.
Thankfully, it all worked out in the end.
How do I? Oh, there we go. So if I.
well, I'm glad everything worked out in the end. Did
There
you
we-
ever get the
It doesn't
quarterback's message that he was trying to send you?
Yeah.
I think he was just trying to kill me, to be honest.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
fuck.
don't know. I don't know how to help you on that one. I
Did
mean,
you-
I've
my
almost
God.
been killed many a times by first dates,
Have you?
but
Care to elaborate?
there have been a couple.
Oh my god. What happened?
There was one first date
Yeah.
years ago. We went to one of the malls in the city,
Uh-huh.
and we were hanging out at the mall because I remember this. I kind of liked them, but not really.
Mm.
And I remember that one of my friends really liked them.
Okay.
And so I
Oh,
kind of went on
sure.
this like first date, and I was like wholeheartedly expecting it to not go anywhere. I was gonna shut them down so that they knew that I wasn't interested,
Right.
and then use the experience to tell my friends some of the things that they were into, so that they could use it to their
Wow.
advantage. I was a very shitty person.
Yeah.
I was a very shitty person. But anyways, I remember this
Uh-huh.
because of what happened during this date. This and I put quotes around it, date, didn't go very well because they didn't shower before it.
Oh no.
Oh.
So there was a smell if you got close. They also wore
There was a
There
smell.
was a
no,
smell.
you don't notice the smell because they wore like 2 sweaters.
Oh.
And I think we went to a movie,
Uh-huh.
and they took off the first sweater and nothing. And after the movie, we were walking around as I was waiting for my bus. And while we were waiting for the bus to come around, because like I just missed the last one, we basically checked out, a couple of like the game stores nearby, and we were checking that stuff out.
Yeah.
And it was a warmer summer day.
Uh-huh.
Yes, summer day. 2
Oh.
sweaters. where they took off the second sweater, and that's when the smell hit me.
Oh no.
And
Oh, no.
and as after this entire spiel of a date, and I basically ended up just being like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Like and honestly, the excuse I came up with, which was not a lie by any means, is I didn't know what I wanted. I
Oh,
was
fair
going
enough.
through one of those phases where I just didn't know what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I told them that. They didn't react very well.
Oh no.
And I don't think anyone has ever reacted very well when I told them that I don't know what I want. They
I feel
tried
like
to
that's
push me in front of a bus.
What?
Wait.
What?
You've never told me this. Holy shit.
Because I didn't want to, because I was still trying to hook up my friend with them. I did not want this to come off as a bad
They
thing.
tried to push you in front of a bus?
I didn't know it was that either
What?
because they didn't really budge me either.
I'm gonna Photoshop a picture of Jacob getting hit by a bus.
I didn't know they tried to push me in front of a bus until they told me like a year or so after. Yeah, like I was like sitting there, I'm like about to get like on my bus, the bus is pulling up, and they just like kind of bumped into me, and I didn't really budge. I like kind of took like one step, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, did you lose your footing?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry," and I was like, "Oh, no worries." Like didn't even like realize it was a thing until they were like, "Yeah, I tried to push you in front of that bus," and I was like, "What?"
What the fuck, dude? Holy shit, I don't think anyone can beat that. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Why'd you wait this long?
No,
to-
I love
to
that he's
tell us?
waited this long. I mean, I've never been so shocked by something that he's told me.
That's
That's
incredible.
not true. You've been shocked by a lot of things I've told you.
I've been no, but I've never been so. You have no idea how much shock I'm in right now, dude. What? You nearly got pushed in front of a bus because you weren't sure what you were looking for in a relationship.
Okay,
What
if you phrase it like
That's
that.
incredible.
the fuck is she doing? Oh my god.
Well,
So anyway, did your friend
to-
end up
to-
having a nice date with her?
well, you know this friend. You know this friend
I
very
bet I
well.
do, I bet I do.
They are the only way I can describe them. With you'll know they are very. They get very short with me sometimes.
Wait, the guy friend?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who the
Yeah.
girl might be, but okay.
Well, another person that we know. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later, so I don't break any standards and dox anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely like okay. And this person actually ended up being yeah, I can't actually continue because it gets very much like doxing and like TOS and like it goes
God, you're
it
gonna
gets worse. It
boat
gets way
Gaius
worse.
again.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
such
no,
an
that's
amazing story. Holy shit. Wow.
I feel like that is the story that we can honestly leave
I
off
think
on.
so, yeah.
Oh,
Like
man.
we can't get any wilder from
Guys,
there this
guys.
episode.
I have grown up and I've matured. I am a nice person.
Yeah, I think
I
that-
do not. If I could go back in time and kick myself in the ass, I would.
Yeah.
I would beat up little Jacob.
Jacob, you need to do an IRL stream where you just get a dummy and you put like a picture of you but young on its face and you just beat it up for half
Dude,
an hour.
imagine a kid that had an emo haircut that looked like Justin Bieber, but instead of his hair going to the right, it
Yeah.
went to the left.
Yeah.
That's literally
Okay.
just picture that,
Yeah.
and it's just me punching the shit out of it.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the one we're leaving off on for sure.
Incredible.
This has been the Niche Memes Podcast, episode 11 or episode 15. I love,
Yeah,
I love just saying
episode
episode
15.
11. It's just, we're
It's
at
episode 15.
15.
Jack, why don't you give yourself a shout?
I
Fuck's sakes.
I was waiting. I was like, don't you fucking do it.
Twitch.tv/McWiggin. I can't. Oh, we had fun last night. Hey, Jacob. We
did
raided,
have fun last night.
Oh, I was gonna say when we raided some smaller streamer.
We actually did. We
And
rated
I
a
sent,
smaller
like,
streamer.
I sent like 6
I don't-
people over there, and he was so happy. So even though it's nothing, it felt that was very nice.
There was an up note to that. He is from Ohio.
Oh yeah, he was from
So
Ohio.
it was.
Oh my goodness.
It was definitely like a
But
full circle.
Don't tell Ultra.
Meme.
He also said that Baja Blast is overrated. So you know,
Oh no.
swings
We
and
gotta get out of here
roundabouts.
quick.
Ultra burst.
Ultra, what are you doing in my house?
What did you say about Valhalla Blast?
I'm glad to see your arm is doing better. Why are you lifting it up so high?
Quick, Jacob, give yourself a shout before Ultra beats the shit out of you.
You can find me as Rocklicker everywhere. It's ROCKL1 CKER.
Rocklicker?
It's
Row
it's a
clicker.
1 instead of an I. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. That's me before.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
you.
yeah. And Cam.
And for me, actually, I'm excited. By now, I will have already been streaming because I just bought a capture card. So I'll be able to stream some games off my Xbox, which I'm super excited about. Right now, if Oxenfree should be finished up, so I should be somewhere in the Dead Space trilogy at the moment, playing through that. So if you
Nice.
want to come by and watch those, that should be exciting. That's at twitchtv.unlikemetal. That's UNLIKEMETAL. You can also find me under Unlike Metal on Twitter and Instagram as well. Well, thank you very much for listening. I have to go and eat dinner now,
Yeah.
so
I gotta go change.
so we'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.
I gotta go change a
Alright.
light bulb because one of my lights went out in my room while we were recording, and I jumped
to figure
so
out-
bad.
I have to
Amazing.
figure out where to set up my LEDs. I have these LED strips. And I don't know where to
Perfect.
set them
Well,
up.
while I'm eating, you can do
Hell
that, and we'll
yeah.
catch you guys in the next episode of the podcast.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. Bye, Cam. All right, so should we just keep going, Jacob? Are we still recording?
Oh, I'm still recording.
Okay,
I'm still
awesome.
recording.
So, look, this Cam guy, I'm not sure it's working out.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
I want him to cut right there. I want that to be the end. I'm done now. Do I hit stop? I hit stop.